Every PD has said this at some point. I don't know what's wrong. The station just feels off. Yeah. Was it you that said that? Yes. Well, anyway, they're right, and something is off, but it's never one big thing. It's a bunch of 7 small ones is really what it is. I'm Steve Cannon with Hole in the Wall Media, and I work with small market stations every day. And here's the truth that nobody really likes to admit. Stations don't collapse, they drift. One loose break becomes 2. One lazy reset becomes a pattern. One imaging line stops matching the music, and before you know it, the whole product feels soft. Well, that's the reason why I built the 7 fixes. It's the 7 things that I correct first when I walk into a building. All right? Well, fix number 1 is the open. Let's talk about that. The first 15 seconds decide everything. If your open is slow, cluttered, generic, listeners mentally check out before you even start. A tight open actually sets the tone for the entire hour. That's right. So when you think about it, take a listen to your jocks. Are they crisp? Are they brief? Are they funny? Are they informative? Are they preparing for the show? Remember, this is what really keeps people interested in the radio station. Are they starting off with the call letters first and the slogan? And then are they saying their name? Then are they going right into what they need to do? Remember, 7 to 10 seconds is really all you need. If you're lucky, you get 15 seconds. The way intros are these days, you're lucky to get 15 seconds. So you really have to sell it in 7 to 10 seconds. So you need to make your bits brief, to the point, and you move along from there. Number 2 is the break construction. So this is fix number 2, that is, the break construction. Most breaks are too long, they're too soft, or really unfocused. A clean break has pace, purpose, and a payoff. If you fix break construction, your station tightens instantly. It's like I said in fix number 1. You want things to be concise. You want things to be to the point. You don't want them to drag on. If you're stopping before you're going into a stop set, well, you need to be to the point. You need a billboard at that point. Tell us what's coming up. Tell us maybe what you're going to talk about in the next 7 minutes. Remember, you want to try and sell what's going on the radio station. Fix number 3 is talent direction. Now, most talent problems really aren't problems. They're direction problems, really, when it comes down to it. And the reason why is because there's no coaching, no expectations, and no structure. All right? You need to give talent one focus per day. It could be their pace, it could be their energy, or their clarity. And what I mean by that is pick up the pace a little bit. You're dragging too much. It could be their energy. All right? You need to sound like you're really into it, not thinking about something else. And you need to have clarity, much like we talked about just earlier. The clarity is get to the point. Don't dance all around it. Get to the point. Remember, daily improvement compounds fast. That's right. You work every day at something. You have a goal for something every single day. You'll get better by the end of the week. If you're working 6 shows, you know what? By the end of the week, the 6th day, you're probably 6 times that much better. Fix number 4 is imaging alignment. Your imaging says one thing, your music says another. That's right. Brand mismatch actually kills credibility instantly. Imaging should actually reinforce what you actually do, not what you wish you did. If you're saying that you're the best mix, well, you better be the best mix. But your music log says otherwise. You got clumps. You got clumps of all slow songs in a row. You got clumps of all fast songs in a row. You got clumps of one particular genre in a row. Maybe it's all rock songs. Maybe it's all ballads. Maybe it's all R&B type songs. Maybe it's all alternative songs. And they're all in a row. If you're the best mix and they're all in a row and your imaging says that you're the best mix, guess what? You're not. So you want to make sure that you fix your imaging and your music log follows along with it. Fix number 5, loose clocks create loose stations. That's right. If your clocks drift, your product drifts. Structure creates consistency, and consistency builds trust. And a really good clock is making sure that all of your power songs, it could be your power currents, to your power gold, to your power recurrents, all are spaced out. That's real simple to do. And also, if you're looking at your clock and you count up how many powers you have, that would be your currents and your gold and your recurrent, take a look at your clock. If you're doing 60 to 65% powers in a clock, it's pretty strong. If you have a really strong music test that you've already done and you're seeing a lot more powers, try and do 70%. But if you're doing 60% powers in an hour, you're doing pretty good. If 40% is your secondaries, that's not too bad. So you want to try to go for power inside your clocks. Make sure your clocks are laid out properly. So in other words, that your stop sets appear at certain times, that your talk positions appear at certain times, not all cluttered into the first quarter or first half hour and nothing happens. A lot of times I listen to radio stations and the breaks between 45 past the hour and the top of the hour are terrible. What happens is that, the jock last talked at 38 past the hour and doesn't talk until 7 after the hour. It's a long time. Make sure that your talk breaks are balanced out evenly throughout the hour so the station has a good flow to it. Fix number 6, daily identity. Yeah, your station should sound the same every day, the same energy, the same structure, the same expectations. Remember, predictability builds loyalty. If a station sounds a lot different, Monday sounds a lot different from Thursday, the listeners never build a real habit. I mean, if your station is all over the road from Monday through Thursday or Monday through Friday, just all over the road, yeah. When they tune in on Monday, you need to have kind of an expectation of what Tuesday is going to be, or Wednesday, or Thursday, or Friday. There's certain expectations. So you need to make sure that your identity is really, really cut across the board Monday through Friday, and there should be ups and downs. I mean, there really should be. It should be different for each day, kind of like the weather. The weather tends to be different every day. Fix number 7 is the 10% Titan. Yeah, I like this one. This is the one that most program directors really love. You don't fix a station by blowing it up. And I've blown up a lot of radio stations in my time. So you really don't. I mean, you really don't fix a station by blowing it up. You fix it by tightening one thing 10% every day. Remember, the small corrections actually, if you stop them, all right, the small corrections will stop a big drift. And what I mean by that is every day you want to try and focus on something in there that's maybe getting a little loose. For example, maybe the jocks talk a little too much. Maybe the jocks don't talk over the music enough. Fix that. Make sure you get that done. Make sure you talk to them. Fix that today. The next day, well, you know what? The tempo on the radio station tends to be a little down. It needs to be a little bit more up, or it needs to be up and down, whatever your situation might be. Fix that. Go ahead and recode your library. Make sure your library is coded the actual moment, that sounds really good. Make sure that you're going up and down. Make sure you're having, like we talked about earlier with the best mix, make sure that you have different genres of music. You can fix these things. You just have to be able to put them down on your calendar and make sure that you do those. So, here's something I want to really share with you. A few years ago, I walked into a station where everything fell off. Yeah, I mean, if you're a program director, you've probably been in that situation. You've been programming at any particular time. There really wasn't anything broken that you could say, all right, this needs to be fixed right away. The station sounded soft, and I didn't really have to overhaul anything. You didn't have to rebrand the radio station. And you know what? Really didn't have to change the music. I mean, the music was, doing the right thing for what they were trying to do. All that happened was that we applied the 7 fixes one at a time, what I just talked about. And I'll tell you what, and this is true, what happened within the next 30 days, after 30 days was over, the station sounded like a completely different product. Yeah, it wasn't because we did something dramatic. It was because we tightened up the right things. And the same thing can happen to you and your radio stations. And you know what? These are the 7 things that I fix in every small market radio station I work with and I have worked with in the past. Now, keep in mind, if your product does feel off and you know it, it's almost one of these things that we talked about. And I break these types of things down every single week. And I do that right here on this particular podcast, Inside the Log. I'm Steve Cannon with Hole in the Wall Media. I would love to hear from you. Go ahead and visit my website, holeinthewallmedia.com. Download your free copy of the 7 Fixes. Talk to you soon.